terms of business that has been closed, I believe we're just over the $200,000 mark. So
That's
been very,
awesome,
very
man.
good. The program has more than supported itself and paid for itself over here. I would say the cost of a relationship or of a partnership, if it's the right partner that you're going to work with the next 5, 10, 15 years here, it's really hard to put a cost on what did that mean to your business. Well, it means a ton to be able to connect with the right people.
All right. David, can you introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about your business?
Absolutely. So my name is David Swanson. I'm a partner at Oakwood Summit. Our firm focuses on advanced retirement strategies for high-income business owners. We do a lot of referral work with CPAs, law partners, business brokers here. I came across James' company in an attempt to meet some of those partners on a little bit more of a streamlined basis, get some support from an outside company to really make those connections while I was working on my business and doing the case designs and implementation. James's team has been phenomenal. They've been nothing but professional. Any concerns or issues that arose, they were quick to fix them. They've done a very good job at identifying who I want to work with, putting the messaging together, and then obviously the follow-up and implementation has been pretty straightforward. The amount of business we've gotten from this year has been great. Referral partners, especially in the financial world here, are hard to come by. Building a
Mm,
relationship and identifying the right fit and finding partners that believe in the same financial philosophy you do is not easy, and it takes time. And James's
mm.
company has done a really good job at helping us get some more of those introductions and nurture some of those relationships that might not be there right now, but have continued to stay in contact with over the last 3 or 4 months here, and have helped us create new opportunities going into the new year.
Love it. So, what were you doing to grow your business before we started chatting?
Yeah, so the previous way we've acquired our business here has been always through education first. So we've done a lot of continuing education events for varying different associations in the financial, legal, and tax world. Those are great. Those are a way where we've gotten the most of our business. This is another element, let's call it, to our marketing plan here that we just haven't really had the time to go after. So this has been a tremendous
Uh-huh.
boost to help our social online presence here, and a lot of the information that we're doing in person. We've spent a lot of time trying to get that into digital format and send them out to our connections online here too.
Okay. That was going to be my next question. Why did you even reach out to us? Was it a time thing? You guys were capped out in time and that was affecting your growth? Was that the main reason you wanted to get some outside help?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You wear a lot of hats, you do a lot of things. You want to try and spend as much of your time in the parts that are going to grow your business the fastest. Unfortunately, that does leave some gaps in your business that need to be taken care of, but just maybe aren't getting the most attention that you should. We all want to have some form of work-life balance. We want to
Mm,
try and make as much as we can with as little effort as we can here. And certainly this was a part of my business that I knew I needed some help on, as the online aspect is getting in
yeah.
front of people, getting our social message out here. One to many is a
Yep.
phenomenal way to do business here, and we've done a lot of that in our educational speaking events. But on the online part of things here, we can reach a whole lot more people. We know if we just have the right message and we have the time to connect and talk and nurture them.
Love that. And we can flash back to before you actually signed up with us, because it's always a leap of faith going with a marketing
Yeah.
group that you've never used before. What were your concerns maybe before you took that leap, and then what ultimately got you over the line to go, you know what, I'm just going to give this a go?
Absolutely. You know what? That's a really great question because that was if not the biggest, concern of signing up with you guys. Your front end was phenomenal. I can't remember what her name was,
Andra.
but she was
Yeah.
that she was phenomenal. So the only really way to know if you're getting into something good here is to chat with the people that are involved.
Yeah.
Every investment, every marketing opportunity comes with its own set of risks. And for me, I felt comfortable with talking to you, talking with your team, talking with Andrea, and it felt right here. So you did a really good job at communicating your value. I've worked with a lot of other LinkedIn marketing companies in the past year that have been hit or miss with being able to put it all together. But I would say the biggest thing that's been really helpful is every marketing plan has its bumps. It doesn't always go in a straight line. If it did, we would all be doing it. But I would say that the way that I'm able to communicate and work with your team here, it's been seamless. So I really appreciate that part of this whole process.
That's awesome, man. So I didn't realize you'd worked with a couple of other LinkedIn outreach businesses. So yeah, that's something people would be curious about. Like, how's this been different to maybe some of those other experiences you've had?
It's everyone can put together a messages of sequences. That is not super hard to do here. It's what do you do after? How do you communicate? How do you navigate? What happens when the conversation goes left? If it goes right here, having just a set of canned responses, it can feel canned. It's not always the most personal, and people can see through that pretty quickly here. Your team seems to have a pretty good understanding of being able to communicate. I would say that's the biggest thing. This is a basically taking cold traffic and turning it into warm traffic. And the only way to get people to trust you here is you got to be relatable. You got to be able to speak a language and a tone that they can understand and get to know you better and consume your content. So your team has done a great job at, I don't want to say cracking the code, but in terms of relaying a softer message here in order to get in front and continue the conversation with these partners down the road. And previous LinkedIn marketing firms, it's, they're either running too many accounts or they don't have the people that have that type of knowledge. And it's, I got these 5 responses and you're going to get one of the 5 and that's what you get.
Yeah. Yeah. I think having a conversational, casual tone to open people up is really important. Yeah. And having the flexibility with the responses so that you can tailor it to them is important as well. So let's talk about numbers, because that's ultimately the thing that most people ask us about beforehand. Like, how many sales am I going to make? What's the ROI going to be? So can you talk us through what the results have been for you thus far?
Yeah, I will go off and begin this that our firm is a boutique firm. We work with high-end donors and high-end cases here. Our average case size is quite large. And so finding these right CPA partners, we don't need hundreds of transactions. We need dozens of transactions here in order to make a very, very good living. So to date, we've probably had, I believe it's 3 CPA partners that we've formed here. And we have another handful that we're still dripping on and going to be in contact with at the beginning of the year. In terms of business that has been closed, I believe we're just over the $200,000 mark. So it's been very, very good. The program has more than supported itself and paid for itself over here. I would say the cost of a relationship or of a partnership, if it's the right partner that you're going to work with the next 5, 10, 15 years here, it's really hard to put a cost on what did that mean to your business? Well, it means a ton to be able to connect with the right people and do a good job for their clients and for their business and ultimately grow your business. So it's been very, very good up to this point. And it's if you think that this is just going to be a one-stop, 1-year program, these relationships, growing on them and nurturing them is super important. And we understand that. And your firm has helped us put a really good base and a framework here where we can continue those conversations going forward.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, and so it's a 20x return. Plus, the great thing about referral partners is if you treat them right, they never go away. So the ROI just keeps going and going, right? That's the beautiful thing.
They do not, yeah.
So we had a quick chat beforehand, and what I think some people would be interested in is your nurture, how you're nurturing these partners. Because that's something, you're right, some people feel like, I'll just meet someone and then the referrals will come. And obviously that's just not the way it works, right? You got to build a relationship. So just at a high level, because I know you guys are doing a lot, like what exactly are you doing to build that relationship and build that trust and stay in touch with them so the clients keep coming?
Yeah, that's a great question. Every partner that we work with here, we meet at least with a bi-weekly basis, video conference, see what's going on in their business, let them know what's going on in our business. If there's things that they don't understand or they want to have clarified, we always just want to take the time just to stay top of mind, to continually be letting them know, hey, here's some things that we can do to make it better, or here's some things maybe you can tweak to be more profitable. And likewise on our side, we look for their guidance and their advice for them to say, hey, we're working together and we're trying to make this thing better together. So a biweekly basis is absolutely guaranteed for everyone that we work with. A big piece that we've taken and a big step we've taken when working with these partners here is that we try to align ourselves. So we do, when we win, they win, and the client wins. And as long as we're all rowing the boat in the same direction, that is a very good relationship.
Love that. Now, anything we've done for you, because obviously, once again, when you're in the sales process, you kind of have some certain ideas on what you're going to get when you've paid the money. Is there anything we've done besides what you've covered already that you didn't necessarily realize, oh, that's what they were going to do leading into the campaign?
Yeah, just someone to bounce some ideas off of. I would say that's the biggest idea, is that we all think that we know what's going to work. It's very, very useful to be able to talk with a firm or an agency that has those numbers, that can tell you, hey, that sounds great, but let me show you what's worked for others, or let me show you how you can tweak this to make this better. Reinventing the wheel is a super huge waste of time here. So if you can figure out what others have done, imitate that, add your little tweak to it here, you speed up the process, you make your ad spend more valuable, you make your time more valuable. And I think that's been one of the biggest things here, is going back and forth with your team, is that anytime I had questions about, hey, what about this messaging, or how did you handle it this way? There's been an ongoing conversation of, well, okay, maybe we do it a little bit different next time, or we did it this way because we were trying to accomplish this goal here. And that puts my concerns at ease, because the number one most important thing about this is that you guys are representing me, my firm, my partner's firm here. So it is super important that we're all understanding on, hey, what do we want our tone and what do we want our messaging to be? But we're paying you guys to help us, right? If we're not using your advice and we're not using your expertise, then what are we paying you for here? So I would say that using that sounding board has been just as valuable as the actual work that you guys have done here as well.
That's cool. Yeah, we love the way that you have leveraged that. Some people don't. It's like, that's what, that's a big part of what we can do, is add a lot of value to what you're doing at the moment.
Absolutely.
Cool, man. Last question from me. If someone's sitting on the fence, they're watching this and they're like, oh, I don't know whether I should do it or not. Like, any sort of advice for someone who's in that position?
Absolutely. I would say that there's, your time is your most valuable tool here. And it's either you spend enough time in the beginning to make enough money to have someone help you out here, or it's, hey, you got to figure out how to do it on your own. So how do you want to leverage your time? How do you want to leverage your resources? And if it's, look, I'm just going to do this 60, 100 hours a week and I don't need anybody's help, great. That's certainly an option. If it's, look, I'm going to focus on the things that can make my money make the most amount of revenue that I can. And if I can take a little bit of that profit and have someone help out on the things that I don't want to do, well, now that's running a business. So I would say it just all depends of where you're at and where you want to be. And if you can get there all by yourself, by all means do it. But if you got to have some help along the way to accelerate that timeline, that's growing the business.
Thank you, David. Mate, we've just loved being on this journey with you and continuing. So thanks for your candid feedback on your experience thus far. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks, James.